told her goodbye. You must have known there was someone better. Your eyes are looking up to the sun. Every moment with you is a new sensation. You told me that you found your soulmate. She's all with you.
Hey guys, it's Yashel, Black Domestic Discipline. We are live right now, and we have some good stuff going on. And I got my sisters here. My sisters, they're here to speak. And just give us a second while we connect. I know it's just so ghetto. It's just so ghetto. I'm just trying to understand all this. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably me. It is probably me with this whole live stream thing. I'm gonna get it together, guys. Just hang tight. Hang tight. So let's see. So yeah, basically the whole point of this is just to have like a panel, an open discussion about Black domestic discipline or domestic discipline, period. Because we all practice it in different ways and we all learn from each other. Like, it's so many ways to practice domestic discipline. And I think it's really helpful in our relationships. It's definitely improved my relationship. Hello, is Brandy there? Oh, okay, because we're live on the show now. Okay, I guess. All right, bye. All right. I don't know if Brandy's So I just tried to call Brandy. She's another girl. She practices domestic discipline, but I don't know what she did. I guess she's in trouble or something. I don't know. She was supposed to be on the show. But it'd be like that sometimes. So what I'm gonna do is call my other sister and see if she didn't. Saturdays are the days where we all get in trouble. Like, you can't not be in trouble on Saturday because you're like off work. And hey, Shaniqua.
Yes.
Hey, Queen, we're live. Okay, so I didn't know. I mean, did you get the link? Are you able to connect? So
I was trying to, but I found out how not to do the video call, but I didn't hear anything.
okay, that's fine. You don't have to do the video call thing. Like, we're all trying to figure out this live thing. Like, we're a hot mess right now. Like, I have another lady, she's trying to connect, and so it is what it is. But so yeah, you practice domestic discipline.
Yes.
Okay, and so I just wanted you to just give your perspective to the people right now as to why you decided to practice domestic discipline.
I got tired of being in and out of relationships, not finding what I was looking for one. And I had sit back and I was single for a while, and I was like, what was wrong in each relationship? And I got down and I wrote a piece of paper, wrote the pros and cons of the relationships and where I thought it went wrong, what my problem was, what the problem with the man was. And the problem with me was that I had been so independent and so, quote unquote, strong Black woman for so long that I was pushing a lot of men away with just beating them down, nagging them, berating them, and
Me too.
So,
Me too. This was the thing, and it's like, because sometimes you're trying to find a balance between the thugs. Like, if you're with the thugs or the bad guys, of course you have to be a bitch and you have to like kind of hold down your household as best you can. You're most likely in a situation like that, we're probably the ones paying the bills all the time. We're the ones who clean and cook and take care of the children. And then we with some guy who just want to smoke weed all day and just want to sit on the couch and just blow his life away, basically. And so, yeah, in that situation, yeah, you have to be a bitch, and you also have to be like working out to get out of that situation. But when I can relate to you on this. When I got with my husband, he was such a good man that I was so used to just treating men like crap because that's all I ever had was like crappy men. And so it kind of followed over to the relationship with the good man. And I'm like thinking to myself, I know I kind of need to change. I know I need to stop cussing them out. I know I need to stop doing certain things. And so this is the reason why I practice domestic discipline.
And then too, it take a lot of responsibility after you've been holding the load, holding down a fort, raising kids, finances, and I mean, getting to the point to where you can do stuff that men's supposed to do, putting together furniture and changing batteries and changing oil and tires. It's all fine to know for a single woman, but when you got a man, you shouldn't have to do that. And I was finding men that were more feminine than me, and I was in their role and they were in my role, and I was just tired of it. And it was heartbreaking, and it was mentally taxing on me, and I just was never happy. And I also practice polygamy. That's another time, another topic, another discussion.
Oh, wow.
And I found what I was looking for in a polygamous relationship and a man that was a head of household, a truck driver. I still work, of course, because it's 2018. We not out here hunting and gathering. You know, we have to pay bills, and we want more, trying to buy land, trying to get the own trucking company and stuff like that. So, but as far as finances go, I mean, I don't have to worry about it. My check goes into the bank account, and he handles the finances. And it's not that he give us an allowance, but he cut us back on a lot of crap that I was buying and didn't need. And I'm able to help. My son is in college. I got 2 daughters that on their way, because my kids I'm 36, but my kids are going to be 19, 8 this summer, and I have a 16-year-old.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you're around my age. That makes sense. I'm 38. Well, I will be 38 this year.
I'll be 36 this year. I claimed it already, but this summer I'll be 36. My son kissed me. He said we grew up together.
They do that. Like they grow up and they're your height and they think they can look you in the eyes and be like, yeah. I'm like, nah, bro. You still my child. But that's good. So you were a truck driver. And it's funny. It's so funny. My husband, he drives too.
You know, them being a cook from home, they gotta be head house, so they gotta be stern and mean. You know, they gotta know that when they gone, you're taking care of business as far as the kids, the household finances, and that he can trust being gone and not, you know, going out there wilding out and stuff like that. So it works for us.
So can you give me can you just tell the people a situation where you may have had to be disciplined or got spanked?
I hadn't got to the point of getting spanked yet, but he gives us punishment. He know I love social media, so okay, you can't get on social media for a week. That kills me more than a spanking. I'm a fool. I love Facebook, so just like fussing, talking back, and just not living up to my potential as a woman and not being submissive enough, because I still fight with that, you know. Because this is new to me, and the polygamous relationship is new, and I love my sister wife, you know, and
that's awesome. I always said, you know what? I always said if there's any way I can get in a polygamous relationship, I would always appreciate it, because it just takes too much. Well, you have the house, you got to clean, you got to cook, you got to teach the children the real history and not some stupid made up history and fake school. I mean, it's just so much that we have to do. We have so much on our plate, and I wouldn't mind. I honestly would not mind another woman coming in this house and being my sister, the sister wife, and we make it, because we have to build something. Like at this point, we done already hit rock bottom. It's time to go up. There ain't nowhere else for us to go but up.
And I'll tell you, all of the listeners out there, if you can get out of self and understand that you're going to get jealous, you're going to have human emotions, but if you can get away from self and look at the bigger picture, polygamy is attainable for anybody. It's not that I can't share, because sharing is not a problem. And the reason why I got in trouble is we tend to team up and kind of like, you know, sometimes, you know, try to thump our chest with him, and that's where a lot of the punishment comes in with us, is us teaming up. Well, she said she didn't want to do this, and that's not fair. You're making her do that. So
I mean, and you know, polygamy, like it's not going to be everything's not going to be perfect all the time. Like, you know, you're going to have times where you might have to do like the board meeting thing and come to a meeting, everybody sit down and talk about issues, and in this case would be your community, which starts at your house, and you have to talk. Everybody has to talk on an honest and open level, and that's the only way it can really work. Polygamy, I don't see it working with somebody who's just not being open and transparent.
And I hit the jackpot with that, because we met on Facebook actually in a group like a domestic violence group. It's a polygamy group, and they just happened to be in town, in the same town that I was in at the time, and it worked out real well. Like I love her more than I've ever thought that I could love anybody, and I absolutely love her. She's so sweet and caring, and she taught me so much about being submissive and actually, you know, it's gonna be all right, and we're gonna take care of each other, and you don't have to worry about all the things that you used to have to worry about, and struggling to pay bills and stuff. Like, I'm just stress free as far as finances, the first time ever in my life, and that's such a freeing experience. Is not have to worry depending on, okay, I need to pay my car note, but my light bill due at the same time.
Exactly. And then you get so frustrated, you just taking it, you know, we taking it out on everybody. That is just the high blood pressure relationship that I always talk about. Don't nobody want to live like that, man. Like, we want peace. We deserve peace. And we deserve happiness. And I know, and go ahead.
The women and the men in each relationship, everybody deserves peace, and we got to give it to one another. We got to be each other's peace and each other's rock. And come search for advice. It's not good. And I want people to know that domestic discipline, being a submissive woman, does not mean that you are shut up and you don't have a voice and you're not heard and you can't make decisions. That's not it. That's the truth. It's really about expressing yourself and knowing, okay, I just can't come to this brother no any old kind of way, rolling my neck, snapping my fingers. And, you better do that. No, it's about, okay, this is what I need from you. From you. And it teaches you how to talk to him. Because he had to teach me how to talk to him. Hey, hold up. You getting a little crazy. Hold on now. Now, what do you need from me? Calm down. Quit talking so fast. Quit cussing. Take the bass out your voice and attitude and tell me what you need.
Yeah. It's such a challenge. It's such a challenge. Because, you know, we move on from one topic to the next. Like, we'll be pissed off about something and we'll move on to something else that we pissed off and something else that we pissed off. It's like, honey, wait, can we just fix the first problem that you're pissed off about? That's what my husband is like, you know? So, man, that is great. You know what? You really inspire me because it's like, it's so, let's put aside the technology and the computers, our slow ass computers, our slow phones. We're trying to connect with each other because we're like-minded. It's so hard to find another Black woman who's into polygamy and who's into domestic discipline. Like, people look at us like we're crazy, but we're looking at them like they crazy. It's like they doing shit ass backwards.
How can you not do it? You out here struggling. You're sharing a man anyway because if you can't date white men, if you can't date Mexican men as a Black woman, you already limited. From men being homosexual, men being in prison, men being married in a monogamous relationship but still want to cheat. I'm stuck in a role of side chick or forever single. Yeah. And I didn't want to be anybody's side chick and I didn't want to be single. I deserve to be loved and I deserve to have somebody that I can call my husband And if I had to do that by somebody accepting me into their marriage and accepting me into their household, then that was fine with me. I mean, I knew 5 or 6 years ago before I actually entered into a relationship like that it has to be something better. It has to be. And something better hit me up in my inbox. So
that's why I tell people, like, don't shut down Facebook and don't shut down, like, social media, because you never know who you meeting, you know? And so, and definitely, if a man
into polygamy, then you think we just so spread out.
Well, like you said, I mean, most men, they have women anyway. It's like, why be a pussy and just lie about it? Say, oh, baby, I'm not cheating. You know, you're the only one. No, just come out and be like, look, let's sit down, have a meeting. Let's talk. I want you to meet this young lady. We can work together. We can build. It's all about building at this point. Like, women need to put their stupid ass emotions aside. I'm so tired of this shit because this is shit that's like holding us back for real. It's holding us back and it's making us miserable at the same time.
We are an emotional creature, but like I said, we all subject to human emotion. And if you can just realize it's just emotion is going to leave and you can work through emotions, then you'll be better for it. Because I don't know, I was just so ready, and my mind and my heart was already leading me to polygamy. So it was an easy transition for me. But I know a lot of women out there that may be thinking about it and not being honest with themselves. And if you can just be honest with yourself, and we know that the stock of good Black men are dwindling down for us, and it's just not out there for us the way it should be. I was out there for other races. So,
well, that is the way you describe polygamy. And like, you knew before you got in a situation. That's the same way I feel about domestic discipline. I didn't even know it was called domestic discipline. I didn't know it was a thing. I just knew in my heart that I needed some kind of discipline, and my parents, they're just not available. I'm 38 years old. Like, seriously, my parents cannot spank me. That is just off the table. I'm married. I have children. I have a household. The only person who's going to spank me is going to be my husband.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It just makes sense. And it feels so natural. And at first you're scared. Like, you're scared because you don't know. This is a new situation. It's not common within the community. Mm-hmm. But when you oh my gosh, when you taste it, it's like it's just something you know you need. It's just right. It's the right way to go. You know it's right. And the thing that tipped me off was the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Not only the fact that I've been in relationships with abusive men, so I know the difference between abuse and actually corrective discipline, adult discipline. So I can see the difference. And that's why one thing I did not want to do was lead Black women to think that they're with the abusive man and that's okay, because it's not okay. I do not advocate for that, period. Domestic violence has to go in our community. Isn't it pretty common in our community, domestic violence?
Yes, and we don't talk about it, just like molestation. You know, we don't talk about those taboo things. We keep it under wraps, but yeah, Black women are more likely to get killed by their partner than any other race of women out there. We think that's a white person thing. No, it is not. It is not a white person thing. It's a us thing. Mm-hmm. It's in our community too.
Yeah, and it's not broadcast like when a white girl gets killed. It's all over the news. That's where they came out with the Amber Alert. And when we get killed, it's nothing. And so that's why, for one, we shouldn't even be dealing with abusive men.
I was in an abusive relationship, so I know the difference between domestic discipline and domestic violence.
And you know, the crazy thing is that when you're with abusive men in the past, it kind of seems like you take on that abusive person, and then when you meet a good guy or a nice guy or a guy that loves you, you kind of carry those traits. It's just not fair.
It's not fair, but it takes a good man to say, I don't have to do this and that to make you understand and make you listen. That's one of the reasons why we hadn't got to the spanking part yet, because he knows a domestic violence relationship. So he gives me, okay, if I mess up, no social media, you got the right sentences, you need to write down the rules of the household. You know, it's other things that I have to do. And we're going to eventually get to the spanking, but he want to make sure that I know that it's coming from a place of love, from a place of, I need you to be the woman that I need you to be in order for this relationship to work, but we can get where we need to be. So, and to quit self-sabotaging, we are so self-destructive as Black women. We will sabotage a good thing just for the lack of not knowing if it's going to ever turn wrong. So we expecting it to go wrong, so we send it on the wrong path so quick.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. That's the truth. And man, this is just, I just feel like this is a thing that's like bigger than all of us, you know?
It is. And we got to quit being so scared to talk about our newfound freedom in a taboo, quote unquote situation. Whatever it is, if it's BDSM, if it's DD, if it's polygamy, whatever you found that works for you, may work for another sister too, if you're willing just to open up and talk. I'm not ashamed of anything that I do. I talk to my friends at work. Some of them say they can't do it, and some of them.
Are you serious? You do that? You are bold, girl.
Then some of them will take me to the side and say, Nikki, tell me some more. You know what I'm saying? What happened when this happened? Talk to me some more about polygamy, about DD. Tell me more, because they want something different too. They don't want to lose the good guy that they got, and they want to know how to approach him with
wait.
DD. And
but okay, my question is, you're not afraid that you'll like lose your job or something?
I'm a CNA. I'll get another one. I mean, that's what I do is important. I mean,
Gangsta.
I'm not no CEO of a company, and my personal business does not reflect. I'm not going right here and I'm not doing right, boss. I need to come over and bring me over there because I'm being insubordinate. No. I mean, I'm a CNA, but I work around a lot of Black women because of, you know what I'm saying, we tend to be in a service industry.
Yeah, we do. I work around a lot of Black women too. That's the funny part.
And you know what I'm saying, I give them, they always complaining about being unhappy and about this and that. I was like, well, you know what, maybe this will work for you. Try this or try that.
Wait, but do you, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you up, but when do you talk to them about polygamy, or you talk to them about domestic discipline?
Everything. My life is an open book. That's why I didn't have no hesitation about doing the interview. And I hope that people that's not in DD hear it. I hope people that's not in polygamy hear it and hear that it's a Black woman out there that yes, I am in this. This is my lifestyle, and I love it, and I am happy.
Man, that's awesome. I gotta get like you for real, because I ain't gonna lie, on the job, I don't really talk to anybody. I'm just there to do my work, and that's it. But man, so you just out there. So you more out there with it. I was thinking I'm the only one that was out there with it, but you out there with it too, and that's good. Well, we should be. We should be.
Yeah, reach one, teach one.
Mm.
There's something in them. Some people are actually searching. And one friend of mine, her and her husband is starting to try to practice DD, and they're thinking about getting a sister wife too. So I hooked up. I added her in some groups and on Facebook and stuff. And and she got somebody to talk to. Yeah. About the feelings that she was having, and about so she's bisexual, so that's another reason for her to want to add a woman. But that's neither here nor there, because when it's out,
whoa, that's a bit too much for me. But
that's neither here nor there. But it's going to benefit her in the long run as far as being happy, because she knows that her man wants somebody else too, and she wants somebody else too, and then
but they're being honest with each other, and they're building. The main thing is just building, and not like fetish type stuff, like where you just going crazy and screwing around with everybody. And so that's why I admire you and your husband. I don't know if y'all married or not, but if you guys are together, to me, that's your husband. And so
we had a little ceremony of our own with us three, something that we did commitment to one another. And that's all it is about commitment. We don't have to have a piece of
paper. I think that's more important than the piece of paper under this government. Now, when we have our own government, yeah, the paperwork is fine, but this government needs to stay out of our affairs, for real. We don't need to be telling them how many kids we have, who we marry to, where we live. They don't need to know none of that, because we are building ourselves up. You know what they always say, right? They always say, oh, well, Black people, get your shit together. Okay, we're getting our shit together. We're doing it without you. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. We have Black men who will protect us. They will take care of the family, take care of the children, take care of the other wives, whatever it may be. They're going to take care of shit. And so why do we need a government? And that's another thing. Black women. Oh, I got cussed out. I got death threats when I took my baby daddy off child support, because I don't want to be in the system, period. I'm trying to separate myself. I'm trying to get out. Exactly. So
I get so many people, you don't get food stamps for what? I can go buy food on my own.
Exactly.
I know how to stretch.
Why we got to give them our social security number, our first name, last name, everything about us, our damn DNA. We basically giving them our DNA. They got everything they need to destroy us if they choose to, which they're really pretty much already trying to do. We don't need them, man. The Black man can build a better foundation, a better country, the Black man, whatever, you heard that song, whatever you do, I can do better. I mean, Black men can just do it better. They did it in sports. They did it in literature. They did it in science. They did it in math. They did it in the arts. And it will always continue. So why would I be so damn dependent on somebody outside of who looks like me or who shares my same DNA? Why would I depend on it? I don't need to depend on that, man.
The last time I got any type of public assistance, that woman looked at me and asked me how about this and how about that, and I told her, don't you worry about it. I'm going to show you how about it, and walked about that office. And that was in the late 90s when I had just had my son, and his daddy wasn't doing right at the time, and I tried to get a little help, and ever since then, I've been hitting the ground running. So, yeah. I didn't like all them questions for coming from another woman. You don't worry about how I do stuff. We women, we do stuff. We know how to make stuff work, and you know this. And you looking at me like I'm not supposed to know how to make stuff work. So.
Okay, real quick, got to give a quick shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have Soup Bonet, Water Sniper, Ian Williams, Tony the Great. Thank you guys so much for the support. You have no idea how much it means. And so yeah, I kind of want to know more about so you didn't do the spanking thing yet, but you think it's in the workings, in the happenings in the near future?
We've been a year and a half together in a relationship, and been a polygamy and DD from the very beginning. So it's gonna happen. I'm ready for it, because I'm into BDSM myself, and we do a lot of role play and stuff like that. So I'm ready for the spanking. But he just want to make sure that I'm healed as a woman before. So, and
right. That's the most important thing. It's about healing, and whatever you have to do to get your relationship where it needs to be. It's all different. We're all different. And I just knew. I was so embarrassed to tell my husband, I tell you.
So he talked to you with the idea. You came to him.
I came to him. I actually was so embarrassed I had to write him a letter.
Oh.
And then I wrote him a letter, and then I ran into the other room and I shut the door. And I asked him, are you willing to try this? Well, I wrote a whole letter as to why I felt like I deserved to be spanked. And I really didn't know what he was going to say. Like, he could have been like, you're crazy. He could have been like, you have daddy issues. He could have been like, hell no. But he was like, hell yeah, I'll spank that ass. I was like, all righty. And then, yeah, we did a year of prayer meditation. We want to make sure what we choose to do for our relationship. I mean, domestic discipline, that's something that we need to think about. Like, we don't just jump into that. And that's another reason why I admire you for that, because you're taking your time with it. You don't rush into domestic discipline. It's like a responsibility. It's like, you don't drink too much and then go out driving. Like, yeah, alcohol is legal, but you don't do it and then drive. Like, you have to be responsible. Same thing with polygamy. Have to be responsible there too, because you have to make sure you're spiritually aware enough, to handle that.
Yeah, because in everything you do is always going to be somebody that's going to make it. It's not the majority. It's just that 1% that makes other people like, oh no, and they just conscious cheating, or that's just another form of domestic violence, or that's just a fetish. So anything you do, like you said, you got to take your time and you got to work towards it, and make sure that you are mentally prepared to do it, that your spirit is right, and that everybody doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really wish you well. And if y'all do decide, you got my number to jump into polygamy if you have any questions.
Are you trying to recruit? Shaniqua, are you trying to recruit me? You're so funny.
I'm just letting you know if you really was interested in it, after you talk to your husband, if that's something that y'all thought about doing, just to let me know. And if you just have any questions, I'm not a know-all in the whole thing, and it's new to us, but my little experience, I'm more than welcome to share it with you and anybody else out there. Shaniqua Evans is my Facebook name.
Yeah. Put your Shaniqua Evans, and where can they go to learn more about polygamy and domestic discipline?
Yeah, it is so many groups on Facebook. Just go in the search bar and type in polygamy for Black people, or Black polygamy. There's going to be an abundance of groups pop up. Go ahead and join the group, and just start reading some of the old posts from different people, and the women are so kind and so welcoming, and it's a lot of Muslim women on there, but they are still willing to talk to American Black women about polygamy, and it's tradition for them, and it's new to us, and we're trying to make it tradition over here in America. And just the Black community, just to make polygamy a tradition, so they're willing to tell you any and everything. Everybody polygamy is different. It doesn't look the same. You don't have to live in the same house. You can live in separate houses. And it's about contracts. We wrote up contracts, you know, as far as the monies go, because we're all putting it in together, and they're married on paper, but it still protects me too. So
everybody's protected. It's like a win-win situation for everybody, basically.
Yeah.
Well, you know, wow, Shanika, I would really like to have you on the show again to talk about polygamy. My husband basically just made up in his head that he just is not with it. He said, Yashel is enough for me. I don't need any other woman.
That's so sweet.
No, but I mean, but he's not really looking at my side of it. Like, he wants a clean house. He wants the children to have baths every day. He wants food cooked when he gets home. He wants the children to be homeschooled. It's like, dude, I cannot do all of this in this house. No, I can't do this by myself. And then, you know, and I work. I don't have to work, but I chose to work to advance us. But even if I don't work, there's still so much work to do. Yes, and then there's the blog and you know, my own business and stuff like that. It's like, it's a lot. I would appreciate 2 more women in here.
Oh, so you taking it fast now?
Dude, I do 2 or 3. At this point, 2 or 3 is good.
That's our end game. Is for it should be 3, maybe 4. It's just me and my sister wife and him right now. But we had a prospect, but it didn't work out. But we still looking. So
I have to be very selective with who you bring in your household, where you lay your head, where your children are. Of course, like it should be, like when you go to join the military, it literally should be a screening process, like the military.
It's a really deep vetting process.
Oh yeah.
Any woman that joins, she has to get some counseling, because a lot of Black people don't believe in counseling. But we, you know, it starts the healing process and figure out what type of person you are, what your weaknesses and your strengths are. So yeah, and you can always tell the bullshitters from the people who are really trying to build something, trying to be real and transparent. And then, you know, you kick them to the side, and then you every once in a while you find that unicorn, and you're like, that's the girl right there. That's her. Man, it's a lot of it's growing, and a lot of them play with polyamory, but that's not my situation. That outside dating, to me, that's conscious cheating. But everybody's poly's different, so I don't try to down polyamory. But that's just not my situation. I believe in nation building. And in order for us to build as a nation, we got to come together. It just can't be about sex. And okay, after we get our nut and the sex is wonderful, after all that, what's next? What do we go from here?
Yeah, what else? Exactly. Like same thing with domestic discipline. After the spanking, what's next? Yeah. And I mean, usually after the spanking, it might come love and love making and having sex and all that. But then after that, like, it's what's next? Like, what's next for us in our household is putting God first and just trusting and believing and working our asses off. We do not sleep. We don't sleep. We were not put on this earth to sleep. We're put on this earth to.
That we in right now, I'll tell you that much. You can't afford to. Not in a state that America and Black America, more importantly, is in.
Because there's a difference between America and Black America. Big ass difference.
Yes, it is. And the quicker people realize that, the better off we'll be.
Exactly. Oh man, Quinn, there's so many things I could talk to you right now about.
You know, it's hard to find people that's on the same wavelength and on the same thought process as you, because a lot of people think you too pro-Black, all white people not bad. I'm not saying all of them are. But that's the least of my concern, is if they are, if they aren't. My concern is building the Black community, and it starts in my home and with my 3 kids that I have, and then the 5 that I have with my husband and my sister wife, with those 8 kids and us 3 grown folks. That's where my concern is right now. And when we get us together, then my concern is getting another family together.
Spreading it out.
Yeah.
You start, yeah, you're right. We have to start in the household and then spread it out.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever way we do it, whether it's domestic discipline or polygamy or both or whatever.
Or just being more united, not having don't compare yourself to your white counterparts, because you are unique in your own right. And it's okay to do stuff different from them. It's okay not to think like they do. And that's what a lot of Black people don't understand. That it's okay to think different. I always thought that Black people were just as important, and that we can do better as a community, and it's so much wrong with us, but it's so much right with us at the same time. If we can just fix this and fix that and tweak this a little bit, that we can be at a higher standard and at higher standings within ourselves, forget society, but within our own society. So you don't have the ratchetness and the baby mom and the baby daddy and all the the negative stereotypes. I know we bigger than the stereotypes. I know we are.
Of course.
So.
Hey, Queen, what? Look who popped up. Okay, so Brandy, here's another queen. I'm talking to Shaniqua. Do you know Shaniqua from the Black World, the domestic discipline community on Facebook? Shaniqua, do you know Brandy?
I don't think so.
She also practices domestic discipline with her husband. So
Okay.
So I think that's I'm good. I want you two to meet. I want y'all to meet.
I'm moving where I can see. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, Shaniqua, can you join the Google Hangout link that I sent you?
You know, I'm at work and I'm already over my 30-minute break, but
okay.
Anytime the next one, let me know, or we can coordinate something so where I'm off, so where I can do my hair look nice and put makeup on, so I don't mind getting on the video.
All right.
And we'll pick it up there, and I am here.
Brandy, I hear you. Yeah. All right, perfect, Queen. I'm gonna talk to you probably next week. I'm gonna get Brandy on right now. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, talk to you later. Peace. Brandy! Like, you were the one who was on YouTube before I was even on YouTube about domestic discipline. Like, Brandy is the gangster of domestic discipline.
I'm glad I could make this one.
I'm glad too. Oh my God, I hear the babies in the background.
Yeah, say hi, Bentley. Hi.
Hey, baby. Brandy, you got to go somewhere we can talk, girl. We about to get real about this domestic discipline stuff. I don't know if you were introduced it to your children or not, but
My kids already know.
Gangster. Okay. All right. Well, so it's so many things to say right now. So the first thing is, you were the first woman that I've seen that was a Black woman that practiced this, and I was so shocked. But at the same time, you inspired me. And then after I found you, I think we were mostly on Facebook and everything. I found a place where I was like really lonely. Like, all of the Black women who practice domestic discipline, they were just like hiding out. Like they wanted to hide their identity, which I understand. I'm not judging them for that, but it was really lonely. And in the conversation with you, I expressed that this loneliness, nobody can do this by themselves. And so when you show up, it really inspires me to keep on going. It really does. Because after a while, it's like, it's too much. But anyway, if you could tell the people how you started a domestic discipline relationship or how he brought it to you, either way.
Well, it came from me. Let's see. I was brought up very old-fashioned by my great-grandmother. So one of the core things I was taught as far as marriage goes is that you submit to your husband. He's the leader, head of your family. He makes the decisions. So going into this, I kind of had that to work off of, and Dee Dee kind of fell into place by accident, to be honest. We had, what's it called? The Amazon book referred us to a book called Spank Your Spouse, Avoid Divorce. And we read it, and that's what we started learning about it from.
Interesting. I've never even heard of that. Wow. And so what was it like to have like your first spanking? Like how did your first spanking happen?
Well, since I never had any in my life, the first one was actually the first one. And it honestly kind of went playfully because we didn't really know what we were doing. So the first few happened like that. And then once we got into more of a seriousness with it and not like a playing type thing, then they started to change. I think the first really effective one came from texting and driving, I believe.
Well,
The first,
honestly,
really,
that's a good reason for you to be spanked. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So texting and driving would definitely give me a spanking. There's a lot of things that I do that gets me spankings, and I'm trying to fix it. Just don't really know how to fix it yet. Right now, the spankings seem to be holding me over until it's keeping our relationship together until I get my shit together. When I get my stuff together, I promise you I won't need spankings. But for now, I need spankings, goddammit.
I'm pretty sure I'll need them for quite a while. I might be 70 and still getting them.
Oh, I talked to okay. I talked to Tay. I don't know if you've seen that interview with Tay. Did you get a chance to see it?
The one you sent me the link from last week?
From last week with Tay. Basically, Tay, she said she gets spanked for not eating the right foods, and she gets spanked for her mouth. And she gets, yeah. So I told her I thought it was good that you got spanked for that, and hopefully you learn from it. And she told me that her husband brought domestic discipline to her, and that her husband's parents actually practice domestic discipline, and they're in their 60s and 70s as we speak.
That's nice. There are some people still doing it.
Yeah. And I was shocked. I was like, wait, so doesn't the man get tired of spanking the woman? Like, doesn't he get old and rusty? She's like, not this couple. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll be like that. Maybe I won't. I don't know. If I am, it's cool because, man, it's peaceful. Like, and women, we got so much passion. We have so much passion as women, especially Black women. We have to be all nice. We have to be all nice at work. We have to smile all the time and do all the crazy stuff. And when you get home, you're like, damn, I don't feel like doing none of that shit. So,
is that your artwork in the back?
Yeah, some of it is. This one, well, let me show you. This one is mine. Zoe and Star. That is Whoopi Goldberg's book. Right here, Native Comics. It's a comic book. Of course, Black Jesus. Gotta have, I mean, it said in the Bible, Jesus had skin of copper and he had hair of wool. And this is some ancient Egyptian artwork. And then this is Saz right here. It's another comic book of Black woman. She get mad. She strangled them, the bad guys, with her braids and her dreads, which is really cool. And that's Protectors of Native Order. Oh, Jelly Bean Dream. She's from Atlanta. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I'm all about the images. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this side. Can you see that?
Oh, I like that one.
We got Mahat. She's the
That's
queen.
pretty.
She keeps the balance. You know, she doesn't go too far to the left. She doesn't go too far to the right. She keeps the balance and she makes things work and make things happen. And I would like to look at us, especially us in the domestic discipline relationships, as the women who keep the balance. Because one thing that people always say sometimes, they're like, oh, well, you're just going to be shut up. You're going to be quiet and you're like this little submissive little rat who doesn't have any say so. Like, dude, no. Do you know who you're talking to? Like, no, I have plenty of say so. The difference is I don't cuss my husband out to try to get a point across. When I really want to get something across to him, he listens to me. He listens to my voice.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like they look at us
Yeah.
like we're just being trampled on. That's not true.
It's the furthest thing from the truth. In all honesty, we kind of have the most leeway in the way this relationship works. At least I know in mine, that's without my part, his part couldn't exist. So
We're more powerful.
yeah.
We're more powerful, and that's the thing. Like, white women get it. They submit to their kangs or whatever. I'm not even gonna say it in descending like that. They submit to their men. And then what do you have? You have buildings erecting. You have companies forming. You have schools built. You have a society. So it's like you're working together. Why is that so hard for our women to understand? I don't get that. Why is that so damn hard for Black women to get? Why we gotta always be like the opposing force to like stop things from happening? Like, you know, aren't we tired of not having things work? Don't we want something that works? Why would you have a light bulb with no electricity? That's how I feel like we're living right now. We have peanut butter, no jelly. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid.
I think our women are just, they're not eager to change. They're stuck in their ways, and the world has made submission and that type of thing a bad thing. Like, you're weak if you do that, when in all honesty, it's one of the strongest things you can do, to be able to submit to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's such a stereotype with it that people who really could benefit from it won't try it, just because of the stereotypes that go with it.
Yeah, which is, I guess that's the reason why we're here doing this, so we can change that. I mean,
Hope
just
so.
for you showing your face, you're showing your boldness, you're showing your strength. And I truly believe that there will be more women who will step up like us and like, fuck this. Like, this is so important right now. Like, forget my identity. I don't care if some women try to kill me, Black women try to kill me. because they think this is the wrong thing. This world is ass backwards, if you ask me. It's ass backwards.
Very much.
Everything that's right is wrong. Everything that's wrong is right. It's like, this is the only thing that makes sense right now. Maybe if it needs to change in some years, fine. But right now, domestic discipline is the only
It works.
It works.
It works. It's hard to deny facts, and the facts are it works. So I will never go against facts. We had a great relationship at first, but this has made it so much better. And I wouldn't go back to regular for anything. Like, it's helped me grow in my submission. It's helped me learn things about myself, change things about myself. It's helped him grow in his dominance, which leads outside of the home too. So wise and everything. It's just been an all around good.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I look kind of crazy today.
I was gonna say you know what, and that's another thing that has to stop happening about us. You look comfortable to me. Like, seriously, I wish I could put my hair back in a ponytail and put a wrap over my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this material bullshit. I'm just so tired of all of this. I'm tired. I like, seriously, some days I don't even put on makeup. I will go to work with natural hair, like regular clothes, not trying to be special. I'm not trying to have the center of attention. I literally just don't want to have any makeup on. I ain't got time for that. I just want, it is what it is. I'm Yashel. This is how I look. Okay, fine, whatever. You know, it's like, it's all this stupid material stuff. It's just so stupid. I'm tired of it, Brandy.
Where's the other lady?
Which one?
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Well, Shaniqua just got off the phone. Christine. Yeah, I was supposed to call Christine. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna get on my stuff. I'm gonna get on my business. I just got lost talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Well, while I'm searching for this, if you could just give some of your experience and what you think can help other Black women, if you could just freestyle it.
Well, I think some of the easiest advice to give somebody wanting to start out is to, one, not expect miracles. Like, you're going to get in trouble a lot in the beginning. It's just, that is what it is. You go from not having rules to having rules. You're going to break rules. So don't expect perfection starting off. I would also say be open and communicate your needs. Like, if something isn't working for you or you feel like you need more of something, communicate it. Communication is the biggest part of this. I think for me personally, I need a very good structure. I like to have things written in plain sight where I can see them on a daily basis. That just helps me remind me what I'm doing.
Okay, Brandy, I have Mr. Calhoun. He's joined us. And so, can you hear us? Mister, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Can you hear him, Brandy?
Yeah, I could hear him.
I can finally hear her. How you doing, Brandy?
Hi.
Hey. So catch me up. Where are we?
Well, right now we were just talking about our relationship as females, like how we really appreciate domestic discipline lifestyle.
Okay.
And what I want to know from you is, I know you practice domestic discipline, but Like, how is that?
As far as, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, okay, honestly, I kind of know that I don't want to say this. I didn't want to go here, but there's the Black BDSM community, and there's also the Black domestic discipline community. So I didn't know which one you kind of identified with.
I'm more DD. Now I am a bit of a spanker as well. So in that regard, as far as the intricacies of BDSM, I'm not too tough into that.
Take them from over here.
They go a little further than I'm willing to go.
Okay, so what is a spanko exactly?
Well, I like all variations of spankings. So it's not just a discipline, it's also maintenance, it's also for pleasure. I like different, I like to spank as well. So I see it as a useful tool in discipline, but I also see it as many facets for play, for pleasure, and everything in between.
Brandy, do you understand that?
No.
I mean, like, seriously, and I cannot, I would never disrespect Mr. Calhoun because he's in charge right now. He's in charge, and he has a lot of great views. He shares a lot of important things in our community. But
Bentley, put the dog in the room.
Bentley, put the dog in the room. Bentley, put the dog in the room, please. But yeah, I was like, Mr. Calhoun, I was like, I guess I get kind of confused. And there's other people, the main hitters in the community, which they didn't like my message about Black domestic discipline, and they pretty much shut me out. And I don't understand them, and they don't understand me. And just like Brandy, she doesn't quite understand the spanko thing. I mean, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just trying to understand the Black BDSM thing. It's like it's like a whole broken off community. And I don't know if that stems from Black domestic discipline or domestic discipline. All I know is it's different. It's the same because we're still being spanked, but it's still different. And it's weird because I feel like the BDSM community, they just want to spank me. Like, they don't care if you're in a relationship or not. They don't care. They ain't trying to build nothing. I feel like the BDSM community is just basically out there for spanking and sex. And I'm sorry, and I said it, but that's how I feel.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. A lot of it is. So BDSM, when you break it down, what is it? Bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochist, correct? So, and that spawns domestic discipline because you have the discipline. Now, all the other stuff you may not be into. Myself, for instance, I'm not into bondage. I'm not into latex. I'm not into all that stuff. I'm not into that, man. Once you start doing more research and diving into it, what's so great about the Black BDSM community is that they are opening themselves up and that they are not shy about where they stand, whereas that used to be taboo, whereas domestic discipline was as well. But the thing about them is they go much, much further than I am comfortable with. So as far as bondage, as far as latex, as far as interrogation play, as far as waterboard, as far as pet play, as far as, all those things, those are not things that I'm interested in. So that's why I'm also domestic discipline. But I do side with spanking can be sexual to me as well. It's just a mindset of when you're doing it and what setting you're doing it in, right? So it's just like anything else. It's when you do it and how you're doing it. That's what determines and separates the act itself.
Okay, well, I think Brandy, I think you can agree with me when I say that I'm sorry, I'm not into the BDSM thing. I will never be into Black BDSM. Never. Sorry. And I get what you're saying. You're saying a really nice thing. It sounds good, but the saddle, whatever, Chisholm, and I don't know, all that weird stuff. It's just like, basically, I'm not in it for fun. I'm not in it to enjoy a spanking. When my husband spanks me, okay, bye, sweetie, love you. When my husband spanks me, it's for discipline. It's just simply for discipline and trying to be a better woman. But I don't see that with the Black BDSM community. I don't.
Well, they do it. And I can't be a spokesperson for them because I'm not all the way in it. They have a lot of masters and a lot of, recently, as of last year, I saw that attending more and more events. For the most part, all Black. I went to one event that was not Black. But they have a lot of masters and houses and doms and stuff like that, and they can be more assistance with it. Because again, they go even further than I go, and I was in the process of just learning as much as I could, and that's how I came into stuff like BDSM goes into stuff like cigar service, and it goes into the 1950s household style. It goes into a lot of that stuff. So those are the things that I personally, some stuff I can understand, and some stuff I can't understand the gastro at all. Those are things I can't get into at all. So me personally, I'm not into BDSM. As much as I am into DD, but there have been times when you spank sexually. So before you even became in a lifestyle, I don't want to get too graphic with you ladies, but there was time when you may have been involved intimately with someone and sex, and you may have there may have been some kind of light spanking that was involved.
Yeah.
So that's how that's where it goes sometimes, especially with spankers, maybe magnified.
I think we started. I think, yeah, I can agree with that. We started with light spanking after the whole year it took for us to decide that we wanted to practice that. Brandy, did it start with light spanking with you? Like when you started?
More playful, like trying to figure out what we were doing, but the intent was always the same. Like it was never to be enjoyable. So the intent was there. It was figuring out us getting comfortable in our roles, him being able to do it, just working that part out.
Yeah, and same with me. And so, okay, I can agree with you with that, Mr. Calhoun. It starts off as play just to, well, not even just play, just to get comfortable in the roles.
Yeah.
And once you master those roles, and once you see, now you all events, so that's different. And now it's you all spreading the word of domestic discipline. By the way, Brandon, I enjoy your channel just as much as I enjoy your show. I see your channel on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube.
If y'all may not know me, 8949, that's who I am on your YouTube channel. So if y'all see a subscriber, that's who I am.
8949?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
So do you spank a woman or women? Do you spank anybody? And if so, like how long or how many times?
But it all depends. So I've given out disciplinary spankers and I've given out other kinds of spank. You mean as far as discipline goes?
As far as discipline, yeah, I think I would be more interested in discipline.
So as far as the discipline goes, it hasn't went long, and for the most part, my last relationship, we dove in and I was introducing her to it, and we experienced it. And it wasn't as much because she was a vanilla, and she turned into she was subscribing to domestic discipline.
When you say vanilla, what do you mean by that? When you say vanilla?
What I mean by that is she wasn't someone who knew about the lifestyle. I was introducing her to it. So she didn't have a working knowledge of it. She's never been in one of them before.
Okay.
Actually, my last two relationships, actually.
Okay. Brandy, do you have any questions for him? I don't even know what to ask this guy.
Do you enjoy giving them?
When this one?
Yeah, your last one, she was asking, did you enjoy giving the spankings?
That's when it was discipline.
I don't know, Brandy. Was that when it was discipline, or what do you mean?
In general.
In general. Okay. In general.
Oh no, it's two different things. Having a spank up. When it's discipline, no, it's not to be enjoyed, and it's nothing to take pleasure in. And you spank it with a purpose when it's discipline. So it's totally different. And again, that's what I was saying about the mind frame. So you don't just you don't have a goal to reach. And so you spank it with a purpose.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like that makes total sense. Like go ahead, Brandy.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I've never really thought about it in that aspect, but it does make sense. I've always had a lot of questions about the whole BDSM and still be able to do DD, like how that works. Because to me, when I think of BDSM, that means somebody who either enjoys pain or enjoys inflicting pain. So I try to figure out how that and DD can coincide with each other. Like, how do you do both?
It can coincide greatly. Now, again, it depends on the extremities of the person. There are a couple of individuals I ran into that are like hardcore BDSM, and they subscribe to domestic discipline. You have to understand, and a lot of the BDSM, and we're speaking like I'm one, but I just have a knowledge of them because I've been listening and trying to learn from them. But you have to understand, just like there's a TIA taking a hand in a head of household and domestic discipline, there's also master slave, dominant, submissive. Those are also relationships in BDSM, and they all coincide. They all do the same thing. Whoever is the dominant, they said that to communicate with the submissive or with the taking a hand or with the slave, and you all get to understand what's expected, and y'all have ground rules laid out, and then y'all have a regiment that you do. Y'all have expectations, and when they're not met, then that's when punishment happens. So that's in all of them, to be honest with you. So as far as the whole thing with DD and BDSM, and I understand what you ladies are saying, because BDSM does inject a sexual nature to it, whereas domestic discipline does not, which is, that gets weird sometimes. To be honest, I'm going to say straight, they're cousins. They're not far off. It's not like one is black and one is white. They're literally cousins to each other, first cousins. So a lot of the thing about the 4Ds that's in DD is in domestic, is in BDSM as well.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. It is kind of a gray line, but I really want to cut through the gray line and make it black and white. Like, this is BDSM, this is domestic discipline. That's what I want to do. I want to differentiate between the two because, yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying, but it's just like with life. Most things aren't as black and white as we would rather it be. That's what I was misunderstanding. It's not as black and white as you think.
Okay.
And,
I have to say this real quick. Okay, so we have Tony the Great. He says that BDSM is about humiliation. He says that it's degrading women, but that's just him. That's how he feels about it. And I'm trying not to feel that way about BDSM, but that's honestly how I feel. I feel it's very degrading. I can't get with that. And Aboriginal TV says that it definitely helps with confidence. He says, peace, Aboriginals. Of course, everybody knows we are Aboriginal to this land. I say black domestic discipline, but we are the originals to everything, to this whole land. So I had to put that out there. Peace, tribe. Never too old. If he forgets to spank you, would you remind him to spank you? That's what Soup Bone asked. Brandy, can
Yes.
you answer that? If he forgets to spank you, would you remind him?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're very honest. I have to learn how to be that honest because I will just brat my whole way. I will just bitch it out until the point until he spanks me. I mean,
I will remind
I
him.
want to learn how to ask him to spank me. I really do, but I just don't know how to do that. That's why I wrote the letter, and I just act like a bitch. This is crazy.
You mind if I go back to what the gentleman said earlier about the humiliation?
Mm-hmm.
What is what BDSM is? Now there are, again, when you encompass BDSM, it's different variations, and it's deep. But humiliation, there are individuals who do subscribe to humiliation and public humiliation and things of that nature. That's involved if you want that involved. But that is not one of the mainstays of BDSM. BDSM is not a humiliating factor. Some would say, as you were saying, even on my walk today, some especially black women, would say that being spanked by their husband is humiliating in itself. And we all know that's not the case. So humiliation, I don't understand what the brother is saying. Humiliation is not part of BDSM. Well, it is not. BDSM does not humiliate. It goes back to what form that you're using, i.e., just like in domestic discipline. Not every domestic discipline relationship involves spankings. There are various punishments that's given, and there are various degrees. So not every person that's in a domestic relationship spanks. So it's the same with BDSM.
Okay, well that makes sense. I guess I'll have to figure that out later. Trying to figure it out. It's just too much for my brain right now. It's too much for me to try to figure out. So I'll just stick with domestic discipline for now, okay?
Once I first started, because as you ladies know, and I'm sure you all know, because you all are very intelligent and you all are not so knowledgeable about the lifestyle. When you start researching domestic discipline, it takes you into different places. And that's how I started researching some of BDSM, because it was taking me to those different, because a lot of them, when you're looking up trying to find domestic discipline, you'll find everything but domestic discipline. So while you're reading and researching, you're finding all that stuff. So that's how I even have any working knowledge of it. But that's why I don't identify with BDSM per se. Because of the different variations and how deep it goes, and that's just stuff that I'm not into personally. But as we've seen, even in certain groups that we're in, social groups, that a lot of people are into both, and it's a way that they distinguish between the two. So that's how, when you start really getting to know it, how you come up with some of these things, some of the answers that you're looking for.
Well, that's fair. I think we can start with that. And yeah, I think that you know what? I'm going to take your information and ponder on that and think about that for tonight. And maybe come up with some kind of solution for Black BDSM and Black domestic discipline. I don't know if we can even come up with some kind of solution and unite. I don't think we can.
I don't think so. I don't think there is anything wrong with either or. There just needs to be clear, defined lines between the two. Because with people who are just starting out, if they get too much information as far as BDSM goes, they can miss the point of DD. BDSM can comes off a lot scarier, a lot harsher, and not with the same setup. So I think if BDSM is what they're looking for, that's fine. If DD is what they're looking for, it's fine. But you need to have a clear distinction of the two.
Yeah,
That's going to work.
that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would like to second it with, she's right, it needs to be more total. it goes back to we need more information on these things. And I know there's plenty of workshops. They have some courses, actually, some classes that you take. I've seen in some groups. I wasn't going to pay $500 for 3-day class.
Well, maybe you and Brandy can start the classes for $500. I would pay for it.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna, but they have classes, and she's exactly right. Because BDSM can be very intimidating, and in all honesty, it could be a turn off. Because every time you see or hear BDSM, you hear the extreme and see the extreme version of it. Like whenever someone says BDSM, you see someone covered up, complete latex with their mouth open.
50 Shades of Grey.
Right, it's like the most extreme thing you can think of, and that's what you see. But just like in everything else, there's variation, and there's degrees, and there's different things, and everything isn't like that. And she's exactly right. There is a difference. There's not a difference between DD and BDSM. There's also a difference between the levels of BDSM, which goes back to what I was saying. When it's black, I think we just need to unite and learn from each other either way. You know, there's a BDSM community and there's a DD community, but we're right across the street from each other. So somehow we can bridge the gap, and it's not as scary and terrifying as it is, and we're not as, I guess, lame as we would be shown, because there's different variation. So a lot of times in DD, where it can start, it starts off as discipline, right? Then it goes into aftercare, and then a lot of times it can turn sexual after that. And those are what we were saying even in the social group that we was in, how it sometimes after discipline can turn sexual for different reasons. So just some things.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think at some point it can be joined together and learned from. I wouldn't say we're right across the street yet. We might be down the block, a few blocks. But I think if DD is what your intent is, you need to fully get that down and operational before you start looking in to the other side. Just so you know you can keep the two straight. And once you have DD set up and you know exactly how you're going to do that, if you decide you want to bring in some from the other side, at least you have your core stuff set up.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, domestic discipline is the foundation. DD is the foundation. And then if you want to build on that, then that's fine.
Yeah. You just have to make sure the foundation is strong before you do anything else.
I agree with that. Well, all right, we seem to be gathering the gaps and coming together somehow.
See, well, because I'm just a stepping stone. That's someone who's like dead into. I mean, that's all it is. Once we open and learn from each other, because here's what we are, and this is why it's so important for us to eventually come together. And I totally agree with the sister Brandy. You know, once you need to lock in on what you have first, instead of adding buttons. Black people in there doing something taboo as this, because everyone haven't even learned about domestic discipline. A lot of times when I'm speaking on it, the reactions I get, well, you all know the reactions that comes with speaking about domestic discipline in our community. So, if we're engaging into this, we can support each other, even though we don't completely subscribe to what each other's doing. But I think if it's black BDSM, black domestic discipline, it's black people doing something taboo that works in their relationships and can help in the community. So I'm all for it.
Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and build off of that. Brandy has children. I have children. We got to take care of the children. And oh my God, thank you so much, Brandy, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Calhoun, for being here. I think we're going to wrap it up and just really meditate on what you said, what both of you guys said. We'll see if we can bridge the gaps. If not, it's fine. We're still going to be spanked at the end of the day if we need to be. you know, so you guys are awesome, and I love you guys, and I appreciate. There's no me without you all. I'm telling you, I cannot do this by myself, and I just the fact, Brandy, that you showed up is just, you have no idea how much that means to me. Just to let me know that I'm not.
I just had to get some stuff straight with my little people.
We got to tend to the little people now. We can't be on a hangout all day.
No.
I can get in earlier and talk to y'all. I think it was a great conversation. Thank y'all for letting me be a part of it. I'm listening to Gleaming for it.
Thank you, King, for being here. And I guess, well, we have another show next Saturday, and we'll see. Let's do it.
Sounds like
hopefully I can be on time.
Thanks so much.
Me too. All right. Peace, King. Peace, Queen. You guys are lovely.
Same to you.
Bye.
Bye.